Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome, guys. My name is Yaqut Zaman. Hope you guys are having a wonderful time, enjoying yourselves. Right, so this first week of Ramadan has gone by. This is the Saturday live stream, as you guys know. Have a live stream on Saturdays to answer questions that you guys might have. And because I'm fasting, I won't be able to drink tea. So, I've got to save my energy for later. I've got to talk later on, inshallah. So I'm going to be reserving my strength. Let's see what kind of questions you guys have. I'm not going to spend too much time on the live stream today. Inshallah, I'll just be doing as much as I can. And then I'll give it a break. Wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan, Valerie. I hope you're well. Hope everything is good down your end in Texas. Hope the weather's good. Having a wonderful time. Weather here is nice and sunny outside, but unfortunately, it is cold. So it's about 9 degrees Celsius. I don't know in American how that translates in what you guys measure the temperature with. Boxing, MMA. Alaikum assalam. Alhamdulillah, my fasting is going very well. MashaAllah. Just a bit of a thirst today. I think I've got a little bit of a thirst, and I'm just trying to kind of conserve my energy because I've got a talk later after Asr in a different city, in Wolverhampton. So I'm going to have to reserve that, inshallah. Weather is windy and chilly. Yeah, it's the same here as well. Same here. Windy and chilly over here as well. So at least I can't be jealous of the weather down your ends, and you can't be jealous of the weather that I have over here. Right, so let's start then. Wa alaikum assalam, Yusuf Dawood. Hope you're well, enjoying yourself in this wonderful Ramadan day. As you can see, my hair is a bit greasy today. It needs a nice wash. Yeah. In fact, I haven't washed my hair with shampoo for about, I think maybe about two weeks now. 2 weeks, yeah? Maybe 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So I think it's due, yeah? Normally I wash my hair, but I don't use shampoo. So shampoo, guys. Right, so let's start then. Let's start with this. Questions. All right, you got some curious cat questions. I will first of all try to answer, and then if you guys have any questions you guys want to ask here, or you guys can ask on Curious Cat. It's up to you. Right, so let me just put the link of Curious Cat. This is the Curious Cat link. Right, so I don't have strength to do my American accent today. Yeah, you guys are lucky, or you guys are unlucky today. You didn't get my accent today. Right, Assalamu alaikum, akhi. I wanted to know if you could tell me how big of a difference there is between Hidayat al-Nahu and Qatr al-Nada in terms of depth and width of topics covered. Okay, so he's talking about Nahu, 2 Nahu books. Wa alaikum assalam. There is a big difference between Sharh, Qatr al-Nada and Hidayah Nahu. Hidayah Nahu is more basic than Sharh Qatr. Sharh Qatr goes into more depth and presents ikhtilaf of schools. Okay. Yusuf Dawood brought new brothers to Tabligh. Alhamdulillah, make a lot of dua for everyone. MashaAllah. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. Well done. May Allah subhanahu accept it from you. Ahmad Arwa alaikum assalam. Well, is there an Arabic expression equivalent to saying, English saying, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing? I don't know if there might be an Arabic saying for it. There's something like, I mean, if you translate it, you probably say something like قليل من العلم خطير, yeah, or ذو خطر, أو قليل من العلم يضر. But I can't think if there's any like classical Arabic saying of yeah. There's like a saying من جهل الإنسان عدو ما جهله. الإنسان عدو ما جهله. But that's not really kind of exactly what you want to say. Yeah, but I don't know if there's a exact. There might be. Anyone knows if there's a classical Arabic saying for that? What do I do if I made a recitation mistake in today's Taraweeh? Do I read the whole page again? No, you don't have to. You just need to correct that little portion. Just correct that little portion and carry on. What is curious cat? Anonymous questioning? Yes, anonymous questioning. If you say a bad word while fasting, should you still fast to the hadith? Yes. So the hadith, according to the four schools, it does not mean your fast breaks, but it means you've done something which inevitably has lost the reward of your fast. That's what it says. So how much of the reward are you going to lose? Maybe 100%, maybe 90% of it, maybe 10% of it. It depends. We're not supposed to resemble the opposite gender in Western culture. We sometimes hear the jubba being likened wearing a dress. Which culture do you follow? Whichever one you want, bro. Whichever one you want. Same with trousers, shirt. Women wear trousers, men wear trousers. Women wear shirts, men wear shirts. Men wear shalwar kameez, women wear a kind of shalwar kameez. So it's to do with the society. In that society, can you clearly, distinctly show the difference between a man and a woman? If you can, that's not resembling them. Like, for example, if the women wear a certain color and men wear a different color. If mom with a young kid stop fasting to give child food and child being sick out of guilt, does she make up the fast and she missed or the whole month? So mom with a young kid stop fasting, okay, to give child food and child being sick out of guilt. Does she make up the fast? No, she just makes up the days that she missed. Yeah, she just makes up the days that she missed. Did you recommend in the past as Safar publications? Yes. Currently learning to speak Arabic and also doing your Arabic grammar course to understand the Quran. Excellent, excellent, excellent. MashaAllah, well done, well done. Any tips? Just keep on doing it. Just submit the homeworks. Yeah, I would say definitely. And you should be good. Muhammad Imran, alaikum assalam, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The main thing with the Arabic course is you have to be on top of the homeworks, giving in the homeworks, correcting them. Okay, next question. Mufti Sahab, can one trim the sides of the beard? Yes, so you can trim the sides of the beard, right? So let's say, for example, this is my beard. So the sides of the beard here, you can take them, you can trim them, you can make them a bit more presentable. Yeah, so basically the beard should look presentable with the size of your face. That's what the scholars say. It should look presentable with the size of your face. I don't know, does my beard look presentable with the size of my face? Does it need to be shorter? Does it need to be... Yeah, so some people's faces are small and they have like massive beards. They say that isn't appropriate. It should be according to the size of the face. Right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Are wedding anniversaries halal? If not, how about gift? Yes. Wedding anniversaries are halal. Oh, salam. Yes, halal. Yes, permitted. And birthdays too. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Is it true that a Hafiz can take 10 people Jannah with them and a scholar can take 70? Yeah, there are some narrations about this. The 10 one, I think it's an authentic narration. The 71, I'm not sure how authentic that narration is. The point is, they can't take, as in they can't like force Allah to put people in Jannah. They can't do that. No one can force Allah. Meaning, on the Day of Judgment, when we all, inshallah, are resurrected, and there are going to be certain people who will be given, selected by Allah, who will be given privilege of interceding on other people's behalf, right? Like pleading with Allah to ask if they can take. And if Allah doesn't want to allow them, that's Allah's choice. So in other words, this hadith is to encourage people that memorize the Quran, learn the religion. Shaheeds will also take people with them. Good people will also take people with them. A child, a woman who lost a child, that child when he was young passed away, that child will also take. So there's going to be lots of people out there who will take people with them, but again, it's all up to Allah if he's going to accept it. Okay, so someone asked this question. Is it okay to pray Taraweeh in the last third of the night as a woman? Is there extra merit? I responded, no extra merit, but non-Taraweeh at that time is virtuous here. So non-Taraweeh is virtuous. Yeah. So in other words, if you were to pray this nafal at night time, that's virtuous. So not Taraweeh, but other non-specific nafal are virtuous at that time. Right. Okay, let's check some questions here. Boxing, where do we submit the homework? So you send it to the email over here. Yeah, so this is the email. Yeah, you send it over here. Yeah, so email it over here. Inshallah. Emails down the bottom there. Assalamu alaikum, Uthman, Irfan, ahlan wa sahlan. If a woman has a ghusl to end her menses, but a couple of hours later she has brown discharge, is ghusl invalid? Will she need to repeat? So it all depends upon the woman's situation. How many normally days does she bleed for? Do you know that? So find out how many days she normally bleed for, how much gap is there normally, and is this a normal thing that reoccurs, this appearance of a brown color? How to reconcile on between Hassanahu Tirmidhi and Albani Da'if? So the way they reconcile is Sheikh Albani, with all respect to the work that he's done, he has made lots of mistakes. Yeah, so he's a human being. He has his own limited understanding of verifying hadith, and that's why a lot of scholars have criticized. So, for example, Sheikh Sa'id Mamdouh has written a 10-volume book. He's gone through all the works of Albani, and he's picked up on the mistakes that he's made. So if Imam Tirmidhi has called the hadith Hassan, generally, as long as the early scholars have not criticized him, then it's considered reliable. And Muhammad Fahim, I would recommend doing my Usul al-Hadith course. I have done 21 lessons of Usul al-Hadith. If you email here, you can get access to it. I am from India and I want to speak Arabic. How should I start? My advice would be find someone in India who you can speak with. Definitely. If water passes the throat from wudu, although you place very little water in the mouth, how do you keep going without sabotaging my fast? Any tips? What I would suggest is, so when you put water in your mouth and you spit it out, any residue water, if that goes down your throat, it's okay. As long as you spat out the water. So residue like wetness in your tongue and around your mouth, if you were to do that and it kind of like goes down with your saliva, that's okay. That doesn't break your fast. Right. So the main thing is when you're doing wudu, put water in your mouth, spit it out. Any residue is fine. Assalamu alaikum ya Ustad, كيف حالك؟ أنا بخير محمد رفيق وكيف أنت؟ During Dhuhr Salah in Jama'ah, do we have to read Surah Fatiha? Not if you're behind the Imam. If you're behind the Imam, no. Ramadan Mubarak to you as well. When eating at a fast food place, is it necessary to ensure there is no cross-contamination with haram products, or can we assume the lack of? So it depends where you're going to eat. If you're going to eat in a restaurant where there is most likely cross-contamination, then you need to ask them. And if there is not, if it's like a Muslim place, then no. Why do people think saying Ramadan Kareem is a bad and is it? No, it's totally fine. It's a dua. So Ramadan Kareem is like saying honorable. May Allah make your Ramadan Kareem. It's like saying that. It's like saying good morning to someone. So these kind of statements are fine. If you believe they have a certain reward for saying them, then that's wrong, because we can only establish reward from Allah and the Prophet ﷺ. But otherwise, saying Ramadan Kareem is fine. Ramadan Mubarak is fine. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahla wa sahlan Emullah. How are you, my brother? Salam Rona. Sheikh, is the rewarding of fasting reduced for watching a movie? If there is vulgar things in that movie, nakedness and things like that, then most likely there's going to be a reduction in your reward. Assalamu alaikum Ibrar. Ahla wa sahlan. Late Ramadan Mubarak to you, my brother Ibrar. Ahla wa sahlan. Alhamdulillah, Valerie. Usman, 5 days normally, but she will wait until the 7th day just to avoid doubt. If on the 6th or 7th there is a little bit of brown discharge, does this invalidate the ghusl? Yes. Then in that case, if it's her normal habit is about that much, then it will be considered to be a form of haid, of menstruation. Yeah, so that would mean that the previous ghusl done was not supposed to be done, as in it didn't really kind of end, and it's going to end after once she sees clearness. Is brushing your teeth while toothpaste is permissible? Yes, it's permissible. As long as you spat it out, as long as you wash your mouth out, and the residue is fine. The residue kind of taste. Yeah, Ustad, I have started reading the books you recommended for comprehension. However, I sometimes get stuck with correctly translating and understanding huruf due to the vastness of meaning. Yeah, so you're going to get that. Don't worry about it. You will get that. It will take you time to overcome this. So what you need to do is you need to start writing your own Arabic. And what's going to happen is slowly you're going to start to come across situations. How do I translate this? And what I would suggest is try to come out with all the possible ways that you can translate it, and then you look at the context of it. Yeah, so try your best to translate it and look at the different possibilities. For example, if it's a ba, does it mean sometimes ba can come with the meaning of with, sometimes it can come with the meaning of something like emphasis, sometimes it can come with the meaning of some. Yeah, so there's different kind of like meanings. If you kind of like translate it like that, slowly you're gonna start to understand the context more and more. What I would do, if you get stuck on a word, don't stay on that word. Right, don't stick to it. Carry on. Go on. It's a market. So you're gonna come back to that one. How long is salah not valid for when you drink alcohol? Salat is always valid, my brother. Yeah, it's always valid. The hadith that mentions salat will not be accepted is not talking about the acceptance as in the salat not being valid. It means the reward that a person gets. The person won't get extra reward. Hamim, wa alaikum assalam. The Imam said, وَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ الَّتِي أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ instead of al-kafirin, but then corrected it. Should the salah be no? As long as he corrected it, it's fine. Yeah. So if he said that and didn't correct it, then that salat should have been repeated. Jazakallah khair. You're welcome. Rona, the FDA said that vanilla extract minimum should have 35% alcohol. So do the products that contain vanilla extract become no? Because the amount that's put in is very minuscule. Yeah. So the difference between vanilla extract and vanilla essence. Yeah. So if you put vanilla extract into something, then that would not be allowed. Yeah. But if it's in there already from a product, then there's permissibility for that. Right. Let's check out a few more from Curious Cat. Are all fish halal regardless of how they are slaughtered? Yes. All halal. All halal. All fish are halal. Is it recommended to pray Salat al-Tasbih? Yes, it is recommended. And what you can do is search on YouTube for a tutorial. Yeah, the best thing is search on YouTube for a tutorial and you'll find, because a lot of these kind of questions you guys ask me, you guys can do your own search and you can find it. Yeah, so instead of me spending time and trying to explain, I think sometimes it would be easier if you guys can check it out. Right. If I try a new drink or something there where I cannot distinguish between halal or haram, is it by default that it's halal? If it's got, well, read the label. If the label says it's got haram ingredients in it, then it's haram, and if it doesn't, then it's halal. Hey Ali, Ustad, can you pray sunnah before the time, i.e., praying 4 rakats? No, you can't. Hamim, watching a series on Muslim scientists in Arabic at the moment. Interesting how they study grammar, adab, fiqh, etc. First, then went on to master maths, science. Look at that, subhanAllah. And that's something that's good to learn about, because we learn about our own history, about how, people in the past had a strong connection with the Quran, understanding the Quran. And like nowadays, if you look at the vast majority of the Muslims, vast majority of them do not know what the Quran says. Vast majority have no idea what the Quran says. And that's scary, because if vast majority of Muslims don't know what the Quran says, it's very, very easy for them to be manipulated. Yeah. So if someone doesn't know what the Quran says, if someone knows what the Quran says, it's more difficult to manipulate them, to deviate them. But if a person has an understanding of the Quran, knows what the Quran, all the topics, the ayats, then it gives them strength in their faith as well. And at the moment, it's like a lot of people's faith is pinned on what they hear from scholars, or they hear from articles, or they hear from here and that. And that can cause a lot of doubts as well. Ustad, someone said Imam Abu Hanifa used to make up hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, and propagate it. 100% false. Yeah, 100% false. That is. Yeah. So if someone makes that kind of a claim, look, the rule is this: if someone makes a claim, they have to bring evidence to prove it. So if they have no evidence that shows the claim is, like if someone says Umar radiallahu anhu used to make up hadith, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu used to make up hadith. Yeah, someone says that, they'll have to prove it. Can they prove it? Can they not prove it? Many Muslims who made major contributions to science and maths were ulama and huffaz. Definitely. Yeah. And that's what we need to bring back in this ummah again. We need to bring back this, like, this understanding of the core aspect of the religion. Yeah, the core aspect of the religion when it comes to Quran is something key, for any education system. Is the dua people after every 4 rakats of Tarawih recommended? I've heard from someone there is no. Yeah, that dua. What's the dua? Subhanallah, Subhanallah, al malakut, something like that. It goes on that long dua. Some mosques have it. So there's no evidence, like there's no strong evidence to prove that this is from authentic sources. No, there's no authentic sources to show that this is from what we're supposed to read. سبحان ذي الملك والملكوت سبحان ذي العزة والجبروت سبوح قدوس ربنا ورب الملائكة. So a lot of people have it, but that's the thing, isn't it? You could put something up in the masjid and automatically people believe you're supposed to read this. Yeah, so you got to be, I mean, it's fine to read. There's nothing like problematic in the wording, in the meaning, but to believe that this is something which the Sahaba used to read, no, there's no evidence to prove that. Yeah, there's no evidence. But if you want to read it, it's fine. The meaning is good. You can read any dua you want. In fact, in the Sahaba's days, you know what they used to do? After every 4 rakats, if they were in Makkah, they would start to do tawaf around the Kaaba. Yeah, so you imagine how long their tarawih would have been. After every 4 rakats, you do 7 tawafs. And in Medina, they used to pray nafal, an extra nafal in between. So that's why Imam Malik says, like, tarawih is about 36 rakats, because between every 4, there was nafal that they used to add. Ustad, Barakallahu, would you recommend a certain method for attaining vocab? I currently am going through stories, and then after understanding, comprehending, I memorize the vocab. Right. So what you need to do is you need to start writing your own Arabic, 3 or 4 lines of Arabic every day. Right. Start to write 3 or 4 Arabic, and then automatically, whenever you come across a new word, you will want to add that word into your vocab, and it'll just automatically click. Yeah. But memorizing vocab, I've never ever done this. I mean, maybe I have in the past, but like hardly ever needed to do that. Now I just read things. I come across a new word, just like in English. If I come across a new word in English, do I sit there repeating it 10 times? No, I don't. That's the one. I read a fatwa that said if the saliva changes due to toothpaste and the saliva is swallowed, it breaks the fast. Yeah, sound like a good. If a person was to, yeah, that would sound something reasonable. That's why when you brush your teeth, you need to wash your mouth out thoroughly. But any residue taste that's left in your mouth wouldn't break the fast. Restaurants that have drinks and you search its ingredients, but to your knowledge, you do not detect any haram ingredient yet. As long as you can't detect anything haram, then it should be fine. Subhanallah, and we find just the 20 rakats difficult. Exactly. And that's why Ramadan is meant to be a month in which you exert yourself as much as you can to get close to Allah. Okay. MashaAllah, Abdul Razak, Ahlan wa sahlan wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. But it's impossible for saliva to not change when using toothpaste. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. So basically, the saliva is this. When you spit out, if it looks more like toothpaste than it looks like your saliva, that means it's overpowering. Yeah, same with blood. It's the same concept. So you spit out, if you've got like a white sink or something, and you spit out into there, and you can clearly tell it looks more like, that would be considered to be. So you need to try it always. I mean, I've tried it. To me, I can do it. I don't know, maybe if you find it difficult, then don't do it. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh Naveed. Ahlan wa sahlan. I have previously bought shares of an impermissible company and made profit from it after I realized it was haram. What should I do? The profit that you made, try to give some in charity. So how much ever you think you made, Slowly give it in charity, and inshallah, that should be accepted. Even after washing them properly, the saliva consistency and taste change. Yeah, so taste is fine. Taste is fine. Consistency is fine. As long as there is not in there like clear proof of. Because look at this. You know, miswak. If you use miswak, you can clearly taste the miswak in your mouth. Right? It's clearly tasteable. And it clearly is going to have an impact on your saliva as well. Right? So that was the Sahaba accepted that. That was fine. So these small amounts of change in saliva, that's fine. It's when the saliva is overpowering. That's the thing. If you find always that it's difficult for you, don't do it then. That's why the ulama, many ulama say that it's considered makruh for those people who find it difficult. Many people are saying that using a weather app is shirk because it's a prediction, and they say that Maulana Saad said, "What's your?" Oh, no, it's fine. So, so shirk is basically, look, what is shirk? Shirk is basically when you attribute something to other than Allah that is only unique to Allah. Like, for example, knowledge of the unseen without any means is only Allah's attribute. That is only Allah can claim that. If anybody else claims this, then that person obviously is trying to compete with Allah. That's wrong. But if you base it upon like projections, like for example, you base it upon calculations or you base it upon sort of like signs, that's fine. You're allowed to do that. Yeah. So the Sahaba, even the Sahaba in their days, like for example, in the Battle of Badr, the Prophet ﷺ, he saw some dates, and they worked out from the dates like who had been here. Yeah. So it was like this kind of knowledge is called ilmul qafiyah. Ilmul qafiyah. Yeah, it's permissible. So to say that this is shirk, this is very, far-fetched. That is, yeah, far-fetched. I would like to learn Arabic language to know the Quran and Hadith deeply. What should I do? So you can do my course. It's called Quranic Arabic 17 lessons. It's £50 for the whole course. You can email over here, and inshallah, you can find out more information. Some of the hadith that talks about the companion of the Quran, does it refer to the Hafiz of the Quran? So there's ikhtilaf. Some say it's the Hafiz of the Quran, and some say it's the one that reads the Quran a lot and acts upon it. So is the fasting broken because the paste mixes with saliva? Yeah, if it's overpowering, that is. If it's overpowering. Yeah, so if it's like tangible bits have gone down the throat. Yeah, if tangible bits have gone down the throat. Wolverhampton Sharif today, inshallah. Be ready, Abdul Razak. How important is it to make niyyah intention to fast during suhoor? As long as you know that you're going to be fasting, that's enough intention. Yeah. Is the hadith about a hafiz being able to take 10 people to Jannah authentic? To my knowledge, let me have a check how authentic it is. Yeah. This hadith is يؤتى بالقرآن يوم القيامة أهل الذين كانوا يعملون به تقدم سورة البقرة. رواه مسلم. يقال لصاحب القرآن يوم القيامة اقرأ وارقي. قال حافظ. ومن إكرام الله تعالى حافظ. Can't find the exact hadith for it. Yeah, it seemed to be acceptable hadith. It's an acceptable hadith. Ya Allah. Yeah, it's acceptable hadith. Okay. Always, thank you. Salah issue. May Allah bless you. The answer was reasonable. Alhamdulillah. Is sihr? Chill out, bro. Chill out. Ramadan. Stop doing sihr. Is it permissible? MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair. Yusuf. Ahlan wa sahlan. MashaAllah. Bless you. Ameen. Ameen. Jazakallah khair. Inshallah, Yusuf, I'm going to be in Wolverhampton today after Asr in Big Mosque. Inshallah. My talk is about the miraculous nature of the Quran, or the Quran in the Arabic language. So inshallah, if you're there, if you're free, pop down inshallah. Is it permissible for me to Jazakallah khair for your kind, wonderful donation? May Allah bless you. Now, guys, Yusuf here is probably The guy who I know the earliest out of all of you. Yeah, long time ago, I met Yusuf. Yeah, mashallah. May Allah bless Yusuf and his family and put barakah in his time and his efforts. Mashallah. Is it permissible for me to sign the attendance for my friend when he is absent and vice versa? Is a context that we do not understand anything from the teacher. Well, what's the terms and conditions of the school? You find them, ask the school, am I allowed to? If they say no, then you're not allowed to. Was there a specific type of date the Prophet ﷺ had for iftar? We don't know. I mean, we assume most likely the ones that were grown in Medina. I have been taking Arabic lessons, but I just can't grasp it. I am so struggling. I feel I'm not cut out for it. Have you tried my Quranic Arabic 17 lessons, Nabil? Tahira, ahla wa sahlan. Is it ever too late to memorize the Quran? No, it's never too late. Look at the Sahaba. Sahaba were all converts to Islam. Some of them were memorizing when they were young, some in their 20s, some in their 30s, some in their 40s. Jazakallah khair. I'll definitely start writing Arabic, inshallah. Sorry if I am asking too many questions. No problem, no problem. You can ask as many as you like, my brother. You can ask as many as may Allah put barakah in your time. And to do that, I need to be strongly grounded in the language. Do you have any advices for me regarding that? Yes. So the advice would be just read and write as much as you can. Trust me. You know, in the beginning, reading and writing is a struggle. You're going to struggle a lot. But then a time is going to come where that struggle will just disappear. Click of a finger. And your Arabic is going to start to flow. What people can we backbite about which won't be considered backbiting? Non-Muslims. You can backbite non-Muslims. What website are you using to check the authenticity of a hadith I just mentioned? It's called Turath. Yeah, it's called Turath. Let me show you guys. Turath. Did the early generations in Islam used to study the stars to predict certain things in the future? Is it permissible? So, no, it's not permissible to predict the things that are going to happen because of movements of stars. No. Imam Omar Suleiman Judgment Day series very beneficial, eye-opening. Would recommend it. You guys, check it out. I've heard a lot about it. Just seen the snippets of it. I've seen that one where he asked people about what they would answer on the Day of Judgment. That's very powerful. Yeah, mashallah. Omar Suleiman doing a lot of good work. If the person uses toothpaste to brush his teeth while fasting, but does it for a first time when fasting and finds the scent overpowering, is it fast broken? No. So you just spit it out, wash his mouth out, it should be fine. Masjid Aqsa. Right, Star, wa alaikum assalam. Is there any course of Quranic Arabic that to feel the Quran, what it says, like some people just cry while hearing the Quran? Yes, the Quranic Arabic 70 lessons. So the thing is, look, you know, if someone has not studied Quran before, you can't just automatically understand the Quran. It's going to take you time. You're going to have to study the Quran. You're going to have to study Quranic Arabic. You're going to have to study grammar. You're going to have to study balagha. Right. So I would say if you do the courses on my uruk.com, then I would say, first of all, do the Quranic Arabic. Then you do this Surah Yasin. Then you do the Ajurumiyah. Then you do the Arabic grammar, or Qatr al-Nada if you want, Sharqat al-Nada, and then you do Balagha. Once you do those, inshallah, you're going to have a very deep understanding of Arabic. What's the difference between giving a fatwa and answering a fiqh question? They're both the same. Yeah, fatwa simply means answering a fiqh question, but there's different levels of answers. So if a scholar just says an answer, which is a basically copy and paste answer, that's a fatwa as well. But if the answer requires a lot of research and it requires coming out with their own personal position, that's usually what people mean when they say a fatwa, like a position that has been mentioned. Are the 7 lessons you know? They're paid. You got to pay for those ones. £50 is. Will the memorized surah act as a shield on the Day of Judgment if the person is good? Yes, if the person has been acting upon the Quran. Wait, so if we speak of non-Muslim is backbiting, that's correct. So can we enter competitions with money, e.g. £1 per ticket purchase to win grand prize of £5 similar? So if the prize is part of the entry fee, then no, then it's gambling. If the prize is separate and the entry fee is for paying for other things and it's got nothing to do with the prize, then that's there's permissibility for that. A sign of a hypocrite is approaching prayers with lazy attitude. So if a Muslim prays Fajr or night prayer or counts while feeling drowsy, this would not fall into that, and hope not. What advice would you give to some non-alims who tag everything they don't like as shirk and go around giving takfeers baselessly? You know what? You're going to have to ignore these people. You got to cut these people out of your life. Yeah, these are like toxic people in your life. Cut them out of your life. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're just going to be stressed all the time, right? So what I tend to do is regularly on my social media, like on Facebook, I just unfriend people or snooze them for a month. And then I feel so comfortable because seeing a lot of posts where people are doing takfir of each other and people are saying, all these kind of things, it just disheartening. It makes you feel annoyed. So the best thing to do is don't get annoyed. That's the main thing. That is, so you are going to get people out there who are, just ignorant people, just baseless, just saying things without any evidence at all. You can't stop them, but you can get yourself away from them. And I think for a lot of people, that's the best thing. But a lot of people have this problem, which is they call it the FOMO. Have you ever heard of the FOMO? FOMO. Yeah, the fear of missing out. So a lot of people, they say, if I unfriend this person, I'm going to miss out on. But if you think about it, if you unfriend every single person on your social media, how much are you going to miss out on? Like, how much meaningful part of your life is going to be affected by not seeing their posts? Hardly anything. Yeah, so it just really isn't really going to make much of a difference. What would you say is the best thing we can do for our revert brothers and sisters during Ramadan? The best thing you can do for them is, invite them for iftars. Try to make them feel as though, have like if there's an area and the brothers and sisters get together and they say, right, what we're going to do, the reverts in our area once a week, twice a week, we're going to do iftar for them. Bring them down, let them meet each other, and then from there you take it from there. So, for example, a Sufa does that once a week. So once a week there's a iftar for reverts, brothers, and separately for sisters, and then they come down, they meet each other, they begin to build bonds and community. Because that's mainly what you need in for reverts. You need a support system. So that support system is created by individuals like us. Is it true that consumption of something haram would impact the child's health? I have no idea. Also, are Asufa doing anything for reverts on Eid? Yes, Asufa does things for reverts on Eid as well. Yeah. So, Jazakallah khair. So, because an imam of some of the muqtadis are like that. Yeah, you're welcome. Unfortunately, just because someone is called a Maulana or a Sheikh, it does not mean that they are qualified to listen to. Right? That's a sad reality. Like if someone says, "Look, don't listen to me," and they say, because I agree with what he says, that's fine. I understand that. I accept that. I accept people. There's lots of people out there who are not going to listen to my talks, or who are not going to listen to. That's fine. Yeah, and I say that for the others as well. So if there's someone who's qualified, you don't have to listen to him. Right? What I would suggest is you listen to someone who you have like personal connection with, someone whose knowledge you respect. They're qualified from a reliable place, and others verify that, vouch for them, and they have outwardly some level of taqwa as well. Outwardly, they have good character. Yeah, those are the people that you should listen to. Do I need to repeat my witr salah if I did it in jama'ah when it's not allowed to do outside Ramadan? No, it's fine. Yeah, you could do it outside Ramadan, but it's considered to be wrong, as in it's considered not the way of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Here's the beard man. Random question. The school does not allow it, but we waste a lot of time and energy. And I thought, would it be permissible in this case to avoid time waste? Sorry, I don't understand your question. What was your question about? Naveed. Can't remember what you asked. Naveed. Yeah, so Naveed, I don't know what you asked. Can't remember what you asked. If I have a wound which keeps bleeding, how would I go about making wudu and salah? So what you do is you just do wudu, pray your salah, and then when the next salah time starts, you repeat your wudu again. Why did At-Tabari use the biblical Christian version of the story of Adam and Hawa in his tafsir, which contradicts our belief? So Zed Melo, you need to understand first of all the science of tafsir. First of all, I think you don't know Arabic, I assume, and you haven't read the Arabic tafsir al-Tabari. Yeah, this is where a lot of people make a mistake when they hear something from a second source or a third source about someone, and then they get confused. So just to make it easy for you guys to understand, tafsir al-Tabari is not a tafsir that Imam Tabari wrote to mention authentic things in there. In fact, in Tafsir al-Tabari, there are fabricated narrations in there, and there are other sources. But what Tafsir al-Tabari does is he just collects everything that he can collect with a chain, and then he gives it to the scholars and says, right, it's up to you guys to decide what you're going to take from that, what you're not going to take, right? So it's like, imagine Tafsir al-Tabari like a library, a massive library that he's just spent his whole life just collecting sources, and putting them in the library. And then he leaves it up to the people that come later on after he dies to figure everything out. Yeah, so that's why if Tafsir al-Tabari mentions something in there, it does not mean that's his opinion. It does not mean at all that's his opinion. It could just simply just be that he said, well, this is what I found people quoting. So this is why the Tafsir al-Tabari should not be read by people who do not know Arabic, first of all, and then there's people who do not know the science of tafsir and how chains work and all that. With regards to i'tikaf, the Sahibain said a person may leave the masjid for up to 12 hours. Can the one act upon this only for minor matters like brushing the teeth, fajr? Uh, yeah. So, for example, like these all fall under the human need. Yeah, these what you just said there, they will all fall under the human need according to Imam Hanifa to leave the masjid. Yeah. So you can do that. You can go to the toilet, things like that, because heating up the food is part of human need as well. Yeah, and even like if no one's bringing you food and you have to go to the shop to buy yourself food, you can even do that as well. Can you explain this odor from the mouth that is blood? So I've mentioned this in one of my videos. So if you check through, you're gonna have to check through my hadith videos. Right, guys. So I think I'm gonna finish there because there's no more questions, and I've got a talk after Asr, so I need to get myself prepared for that, ready, inshallah. If any of you guys are in or about Wolverhampton, then pop down, inshallah, and hopefully we can meet. If someone wants to perform i'tikaf but is not comfortable using the masjid toilets, are they allowed to go home or using the bathroom? If there is a real valid reason that the toilets are not usable, yeah, then yes. Otherwise, no. They should use the toilets in the masjid. Depends, what kind of toilets they have. Obviously, if it's something which is dangerous to their health, then that's something. But they should not, for no reason, they should not have to go home unless it's like a really valid reason. I would say what they should do is speak to the imam of the masjid, and if the imam of the masjid says to them, then it would be fine. Is there a different type of reward fasting every day of Ramadan? I don't know. Yeah, Allah. All right, guys. So tomorrow, inshallah, is Surah Al-Hujurat Part 2, inshallah. So make sure you're there. And tomorrow I also have a radio appeal as well for Asufa Institute. So I'll be on Radio Unity FM. So if any of you guys are listening in the evening, tomorrow evening, Radio Unity FM, I'll be on there, hopefully, inshallah. And that's it, guys. So Jazakumullah khair for coming on. As you guys always know, I really enjoy your presence, your company. You guys are fun people to be around. And I will see you guys next time, inshallah. Make dua for me, and I will make dua for you guys as well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.